Good morning, Keith Tebow from FRC Media. It is Wednesday, and it's time for our weekly sit down virtually with the mayor of the city of Fall River, Mayor Paul Coogan. Mayor, how are you? Nice to see you.
Doing fine, Keith. How about you?
I am doing well. Let's start with, unfortunately, a little bit more of some COVID discussion. I want to focus a little bit on the schools. Yesterday, Governor Baker announced that through the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, they're implementing another option for testing in the schools. They're going to be providing rapid at-home tests for school districts who want them as part of contact tracing in terms of students who may be tested on a regular basis if they've come in contact with someone in the school who may have tested positive. Do you know if the city will be, looking at this as an option? The governor was mentioning that it'll take away from nurses who have been really busy with just dealing with symptomatic cases to sort of shift that and bring those tests home to students. Is the city going to be taking part in this at all? Do you know?
Well, I mean, obviously, we're all buckling under COVID. At the same time, the test and stay seemed like we had been having some success monitoring our numbers with that. So now it's changing again, and I wouldn't doubt it if it changes again. On the plus side, though, I'm hearing some good things about numbers overall starting to drift down, especially in the Northeast. So let's hope we go that way. I mean, we want the kids in school. We want the teachers in school. We want the parents to know they're safe. And whatever it takes to get that done, that would be my goal.
I know that the city is also sponsoring a number of clinics over the next couple of weeks. I believe there's a clinic this Saturday at the Fall River Public Library, again next Tuesday. So there's opportunities for families who haven't been vaccinated yet to do that. And I know that's still a concern in terms of the numbers here in Fall River. We've been at that plateau for quite some time.
Well, last week we actually drifted over 71 for one, over 70% for one shot. So we are climbing, although very, very, very slowly. And again, we encourage everyone to get both shots and then get their boost. It's the way to fight this off or minimize the damage if you do get it. I mean, everything I've read about people that end up in the hospital or end up with the severe cases of the people that have not been vaccinated. So we can't stress it enough. And, that's what we have to try to stress. People should get their shots, get their boost, and get on with their lives.
Yeah. Since the last time we spoke, which has been a couple of weeks, the governor also announced that he's going to be gaining access to 26 million rapid at-home tests. I know that the city got an allocation a while back. Has there been any indication whether the city will get more from the state from this 26 million allocation?
I think those are going to be targeted to the schools, from what I heard. But again, if we get them, we'll make them available. We still have a few, and we're trying to take care of our at-risk populations. We distributed some again the other day, but there's not many left around from the first batch. So if they're going to give us some, we can sure use them, and we'll go forward from there.
Yeah. All right, shifting gears now. Last night, the Fall River City Council approved your appointment of a city administrator. Seth Aiken is the new city administrator for the city of Fall River. Tell us a little bit about Seth and how you hope he'll serve the city.
Well, Seth is a veteran who has worked part-time for us over in the Corporation Counsel's office. He's done a great job over there, and that's kind of why we thought he might be a good fit for city administrator. He has some leadership skills. He's a fast learner, and he seems like he's got good analytical skills on problems. Whenever we've dealt with him on some issues, whether they're legal or city related, he always gets a grip on it pretty quickly and looks for ways to fix things. And that's what the city administrator has to do, be able to understand a wide range of problems and find ways to fix them. I think he's going to be a good fit over here. We look forward to him coming aboard, and I thank the council for their vote last night. I think they vetted him. I know he met with most of them to talk about his own background, and obviously they were confident he could do the job. And again, I appreciate their support.
And also moving forward, a couple of weeks ago, you announced more allocations in terms of the ARPA funding, some money going toward local businesses where businesses can get some grants in terms of recovering some of the things that they lost. How is that going to work for city businesses who may want to tap into some of that financial support?
Well, they can obviously call the mayor's office or talk to Bristol County Economic Development. We we are looking to help businesses that took it on the chin during COVID. Obviously, they have to have the tax returns that show there was some losses and the documentation necessary to qualify. But we want to help all the businesses that employ from 1 to 5 people and from 6 to 10. That's who we're trying to gear it towards, the small businesses in Fall River that keep the city running. If we can help them, I think that's a step in the right direction. And many, many other cities are doing it with their ARPA money. But it's a good use of the funds, and the money's going right back into the community.
Another development in this is the news that came out, first reported in the Herald News, that you've worked with Congressman Auchincloss, Senators Markey and Warren to allow the city to use a little more of the ARPA funding for its lost revenues. Give us a little bit of background on how that worked, and how do you plan on using now up to $10 million for lost revenues in the city?
Well, we're not sure how we're going to use every dollar of it. We did use some of it for our assessors' evaluation of city property, and for the police vehicles. We were told that police vehicles could come out of our lost revenue. Since we received the $10 million, that's an easy fit. We definitely want to help our public safety, both police, fire, and EMS, and we'll be looking to support all those things. What happened was, if people remember, we had lost revenue to the tune of a few $1 million. But when the state told us the MSB loans, which account for Durfee High School and others, were part of our what they called grants that we received from the state, then we would have had no lost revenue, because we obviously received a very, very big check to fund the building of the new Durfee High School. So we solicited support from the Secretary of Treasury Yellen with Congressman Auchincloss, and we had a letter put together that all the congressmen and women in Massachusetts signed on to, along with Senators Warren and Markey, supporting our position that those monies were designated for a loan that we inherited by building the new Durfee High School. They were not used for running a city government or for the day in, day out functions of city government, whether it's police, fire, infrastructure, public safety, homelessness. We would never get to those things in some cases if we didn't have more flexibility on lost revenue. So I truly I'm not someone that likes to blow my own horn, but I just stayed on this and kept pushing, pushing, pushing. Obviously, when Mary Sahadi was here, she worked with us on this, and we actually got to the highest levels of the federal government, and they appreciated what we had to say, and they saw it our way also, which is the best of all worlds. I did get a couple of calls from some other mayors in Massachusetts, and they were extremely thankful that we kept our foot on the pedal trying to get this change instituted.
Now, this will also fall into the guidelines of the other ARPA funding, where you can spend it. I believe you have to allocate it by fiscal year 24 and use it by fiscal year 26. So, are your plans? I know you haven't come up with concrete plans, but are you looking to maybe spread this out over the next couple of fiscal years
Oh,
as you
absolutely.
see revenues, come in normally here in Fall River?
Right. I mean, we obviously in Fall River, as is across the country, all prices are going up. Whether it's insurance, whether it's the Durfee debt's going to be coming on the books, and we want to try to find ways to minimize the increases for our residents, and that's what we're going to look to. Also, there are things we need that are tangible that make the city a better place to live that we want to support with these ARPA funds, and we're going to do it. This money is going to be a game changer for a city like Fall River, and we're going to definitely do our best to use it wisely and with one sole focus, making Fall River a better place to live for everybody.
And plans still are. I know there was some talk of maybe that second allocation from the city. The city received half of its ARPA funding, nearly 70 million last year. The second half is due, I believe, this spring. Is that still going to come forward? I know there was talk of maybe someone in the federal government shifting that around, but as far as you know, the city's still going to get that second payment later this
As
spring.
far as I know, is still on board for the second half of our ARPA allocation.
Yeah. I know I like to say a lot, as of when we're speaking,
Right.
9:25 a.m., it's still the case, but things may
That's
change.
it. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's the way we have to look at things. All right, Mayor Coogan, as always, thank you for your time. We'll talk again next week.
Okay. Thanks, Keith. I appreciate it.
All right. All right. Take care. And thank you for joining us here in FRC Media. I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great rest of your day.